There's something different going on in the town of Kempton, Indiana, population 332. On a hot summer day, fans blow and a window air conditioner hums and rattles at R&J Steel Rule and Die. As you step inside this small shop, you can't afford to get distracted by the walls lined with vintage puzzles and games, or you'll miss what's quietly happening in the corner, where an artist is at work. While most of the world's jigsaw puzzles are created by computers, Robert Kirtley creates jigsaw puzzles completely from his imagination and skill. He is one of only a half dozen or so individuals in the world who have mastered this particular art.
It's unique. Because you're putting something in there. You as a person, when you're drawing that, the mood. Okay, do you want to play with the customer a little bit? Do you want a piece in there that can confuse them? When you're drawing that, you can do that. That's the art.
No one is more surprised that Robert ended up becoming an artist than Robert himself. He was a young factory worker when he was asked if he would like to learn this craft. Robert initially hesitated. He liked his job at the puzzle factory. He was comfortable working as a materials handler. Plus, there was one other small problem. Robert had no idea how to draw.
I didn't think that I even could draw, cut, and I wanted to succeed. So I tried. I worked 80 hours a week in that factory, and that's why I think my dies, my puzzles are unique, because I don't just manufacture jigsaw puzzles. I put myself in that jigsaw puzzle for the customer.
Robert has drawn the puzzle master on film, often having to create 2 or 3 masters until he has exactly the number of pieces necessary for the puzzle. Since each one is freshly created and there is no formula.
Every time that you start drawing a puzzle, it's going to be different because of the way you're drawing it. There is no way that you can build or draw an interlock identical to the next. There is no way. That is why it's so important to hand draw the jigsaw puzzles.
Cutting is step 2 of the process, where he will create a template for the puzzle die. Robert has placed bridges in each piece so that when the saw comes to a bridge, it stops, which allows the pieces to stay intact. A vacuum sucks up the sawdust so that Robert has a clear line of vision to his cut lines. Here, Robert is working on a 4-up puzzle with larger pieces, which would take him about 2 hours to cut out. While the technique is intricate enough with this size puzzle, puzzles with smaller pieces, 1,000 or 1,500, are created the same way.
We sawed, we come back in here, and now we're going to physically make the piece, and you take it from a flat piece of metal, and what we're going to do is we're going to form it into this interlock.
The metal pieces that Robert handles so nimbly are incredibly sharp. In his artistic hands, the metal responds willingly to even the most minute touches, as Robert transforms a thin piece of steel into what will ultimately become puzzle parts of a sunflower, a sunset, a sunny smile. During the bending process, Robert has numbered the outline of each piece on the board and given a corresponding number to each metal piece. He now moves on to the final phase of creating the die, where he assembles the individual metal puzzle pieces into the die master board. While each of these dies is used to create tens of thousands of puzzles, no 2 dies that Robert creates are ever identical. The customer and their experience is what matters to companies like My Personal Puzzle, who use Robert exclusively to create their puzzle dies. While some may ask if how a jigsaw puzzle is created really matters, people who know puzzles will emphatically answer, yes, it matters.
It's crafted. It's not manufactured over in China by a laser company or some machine that's making that puzzle. This is handcrafted, drawn, physically bent, and assembled. Okay, water jet. Okay, it's a computer telling that jet what to do. That's not no art. That's a machine telling something or cutting something. That's not art. What we do and what I would like to teach my son is the art part.
From here, the completed one-of-a-kind die will travel to the Package Right Puzzle Factory. Robert's die masters, born of his imagination and skill, each piece formed by his hands, are the singular handmade tools in a factory full of technology. The die will be inserted into a cutter, matched, in the case of a My Personal Puzzle, by an operator to a personalized puzzle image, and with the push of a button, his vision and craftsmanship have been fused into something special. Special because your pieces came from his hand. Special because he thought about you and your experience, your joy, when he drew, cut, bent, and assembled that puzzle. And special because it's art.
I haven't worked, in my opinion, and everybody will tell you that knows me, I haven't worked a day in my life. I absolutely love what I do. I am very passionate. This is me. You know, this is part of me.